Well, thank you very much for asking what the NGFS, what the Central Bank and Supervisors Network for Greening the Financial System can actually do for driving regulatory change in the all-important subject of climate change. Maybe to first say a couple of words on the NGFS itself. 4 years ago, we started with 8 central banks around the world. Now we are almost 100 supervisors, central banks who focus on greening the financial system, who focus on sharing, and that I think is what we want to emphasize today in the Climate Training Alliance, the CTA, the Climate Training Alliance, sharing insights, sharing experience, making sure that the people who work for our organizations learn from each other in why climate change is so all important. In terms of regulatory change, we are not directly involved as an NGFS in regulatory change, but by exchanging information, by learning from each other, by horizontalizing, if you like, all the knowledge that we have, of course, we will be able to identify gaps that are there. And I think that is a basis for all of our organizations in various international fora to actually bring to the fore what still needs to change. The training agenda is absolutely key. We need to live up to the greatest challenge that humankind is facing, and that is climate change and environmental change as well. And therefore we need to learn. And the time to market of insights that are now there being developed within central banks, within supervisors, why climate change is relevant for our mandates, why climate change translates into financial risks. This is now we now know this is being accepted, but the techniques behind it, the stress testing techniques that we need to develop, the scenarios that we need to develop, the credit risk management, the operational risk management, the market risk management, the legal risk management, all these various themes need to be developed. They are being developed, and we need to make sure that when one idea that pops up somewhere in the world needs to reach all of the other central banks as soon as possible because of the urgency of the matter. And the Climate Training Alliance will do exactly that. It will make sure that we share experiences, we share knowledge, that we instill understanding as soon as we can in all our organizations. And mind you, don't forget, central banks and supervisors have great leverage in the financial sector. When we ask banks, when we come up with supervisory expectations, the financial sector listens, and they will only be able to live up to these expectations if they, and when I say they, I mean the banks, when the banks and the insurance undertakings and the wider financial sector in general, when they engage with their clients. And the clients of the financial sector, of course, is the real economy. So there's leverage of central banks and supervisors vis-a-vis the financial sector, and there's leverage of the financial sector vis-a-vis the real economy. So there's actually double leverage. And bringing together in the Climate Training Alliance that knowledge, that experience, making sure that we spread that as soon as we can around the world, I think is absolutely key. I'm really thrilled that this Climate Training Alliance has come to life. I've already opened one of these sessions, and the vibrant atmosphere, the urge to learn, the urge to understand, to make progress was palpable. It was so clear. And in the weeks, months, and years to come, I'm sure that learning from each other, building on each other's experiences, standing on each other's shoulders, is absolutely key to making progress here. Of course, central banks and supervisors are not climate policymakers. In the end, we will need governments to take actions, but we have a very important role to play. But we can only play that role if we are able to teach our staff, the people working for almost now 100 central banks and supervisors, and how this relates to what they do in their daily work. How a credit risk expert is able to incorporate understanding in terms of how climate-related risk translate into credit risk. How operational risk managements do this, how legal risk managers do this. So this knowledge is there, it's being developed, and we need to share this as soon as we can so that it can be put in practice all around the world. And this is what the Climate Training Alliance is all about.